Today here in the office, we have the brand new gaming-focused Asus Chromebook Vibe CX34 Flip. It is the device that we got hands-on time with out in Vegas at CES 2023, and it's one of those devices that I feel like is going to kind of put Asus back on the map, especially when it comes to gaming Chromebooks. We're super excited to finally get some real hands-on time with this thing, so let's not waste any more time and jump right in the box. But before we get into it, this video is brought to you by Penoval. If you are looking for a USI pen for your Chromebook, you should really check them out. Penoval makes fantastic USI pens for Chromebooks, styluses for iPads, and Surface devices that are well built, stylish, and come with a very reasonable price tag. Their latest model, the USI 2.0 stylus pen for Chromebook, comes with some really awesome features like fast USB-C charging, a solid replaceable cone-like pen tip, enhanced palm rejection, and magnets for secure storage on many Chromebooks. So far, this pen has worked on every USI compatible Chromebook we've tried, including those pesky USI 2.0 only Chromebooks, and things just work across all sorts of apps with no setup needed whatsoever. With an all aluminum build, this pen will hold up over time too, making it a constant companion even if you upgrade your Chromebook down the road. Bottom line, if you need a stylus for your Chromebook, we'd recommend checking out Penoval. Click the link in the description below to pick up one for yourself, and make sure to use our exclusive promo code 05unboxed at checkout to receive a discount on your purchase. But this promo code expires on February 10th, 2023, so don't hesitate. Okay, I promise we're going to get right into this Chromebook because that's what you're here for, but Asus did send over a couple extra boxes in the bigger box that they shipped this Chromebook with, and I don't think these are intended to be like part of your purchase. I don't think that's what they're trying to say here, but they are available on Asus's website. And these two accessories, one is what is it, RJ45? Is it? Yeah, RJ45 dongle. It's an Ethernet adapter, basically a USB 3, so it's not a USB-C adapter. So you know, if you're playing GeForce Now and you're streaming, and you have access to the Ethernet cable, either off your router or directly from the wall if you have fiber optic internet. You can hook this into the USB Type A port. With it being a 3.0, it'll carry those speeds fast enough, and you can plug right in. And you know, the speeds when you're streaming will be a little bit better because of that. So that thing is available. This one was what was more intriguing to me. I couldn't wait. We haven't opened this box up yet, but I did slice this one open because I was really curious about this one. I looked it up. It's $80 on Asus's website, and I feel like if it works well, it's going to replace my dock that I used to have that from Samsung. When the Samsung Chromebook Pro came out, they gave us a little dock, and it was, I don't know, probably like that big, and I thought it was small. This thing is tiny. Let's see here. Here's my phone for reference. So this is a Pixel 7 Pro. Yeah, look how little that thing is. Here, my Pixel Watch. That's another good one. So you can see this thing is not big at all, but you get a full-size HDMI slot, USB. Hopefully it's a 3.0. Does not say on there. And then your power pass-through with USB Type-C. So I mean, you're getting all that same functionality as a mobile dock. And that thing is just crazy small. So if for nothing else, it can go in your bag very easily, but this might make a decent desktop companion. So $80, a little steep for a dock, but if it works really well and it's this small and it looks really nice on the desk, that's kind of cool. Like I said, they're available at asus.com, so you can check those out if you want. But let's jump into this Chromebook now. Actually, and I told you we didn't open this one up at all, so I actually have to get the knife out for this one. And Asus was kind enough to send this one over pretty quickly. I mean, we just talked about this thing in Vegas, we're right at about a month ago. But it's really cool to see a device that was announced at a show like that and is already shipping. You know, it started going up for pre-order while we were in Vegas, and just the other day they started showing up at I think right now you can get them at Asus, you can get it at Amazon and B&H Photo right now. So hopefully that will expand and we'll see Best Buy availability coming soon. Here's a fun little thing. That box doesn't want to stay open. I don't want to like break it. It really wants to shut. Offers to get you gaming now. So that's kind of cool with these gaming Chromebooks that they're starting to throw these little cards in. It's really nothing more than like a postcard, but it takes new users to that perks page, and there's some cool stuff on there. There's like 3 months free of GeForce Now, I think some Amazon Luna stuff, and you never know. So 3 months down the road, there might be new perks. That's what's really awesome about Chromebook perks in general. Let's check the charger on this thing real quick. Pretty standard Asus fare here. Ooh, it's a 45 watt charger. That's nice. with a bigger processor inside. That's probably warranted. It's an Asus's nice little brick though, but yeah, 45 watts, that's pretty sweet. So that's a nice inclusion there. But here's what we're all here to see. This guy. I forgot about the Asus logo kind of just being etched on there, basically. It's really sweet looking. Let me move this out of the way. And let's talk about this guy real quick. So it's not a super thin Chromebook here. This is not like dainty, you know, if you're looking for like the thinnest svelte Chromebook, you know, the HP Dragonfly Pro Chromebook would probably be a better option for you if that's kind of what you're after. But this has got a really nice like matte finish, almost like a chalk paint, almost like very grippy. I like that. I don't remember noticing that while we were in Vegas. This is nice. Very, very sturdy. I mean, there's no give in that chassis whatsoever. I want to say it's an aluminum top on this one and then an all plastic bottom, but it's Asus's, it feels like the same plastic they've been using with like the CX5 devices, which means it's plastic, but it's very firm, it's very rigid, it feels good in the hand. And it doesn't feel that different texture-wise than the top here. You've got the nice hinges across the back, some fan ports. And again, this thing is, you can see it's a full-size HDMI port right there. So it's not like this thing's super svelte, but it's also not like wildly thick either. It's just, you know, kind of comfortable. And, you know, you want some of that internal space in there for some fans for a device that's got specs like these. And so this one is rocking a Core i5, 12th gen Core i5. The one that we have here is the $869 model. It's got 16 gigs of RAM inside and then 512 gigs of NVMe storage as well. The $769 model that is available at some of the other retailers, I think both of them are at Asus, and the $769 one is at Amazon and B&H Photo right now. That one drops it down to 8 gigs of RAM and 256 internal storage, so still really good specs. It's going to be very fast, and so stuff like Steam gaming down the road, editing videos with LumaFusion, all that kind of stuff is going to be really good on these because they have plenty of RAM, plenty of processor power, Iris Xe graphics, all that kind of stuff on board. But the logo on here is really cool. Instead of just being that flashy Asus, it's like etched and lined here, so it looks really nice. And again, you got ports for fans down here on the bottom and some feet. Over here, I didn't go through all of these, but USB Type-C, HDMI, headphone microphone, SD card slot for expanded storage. You've got another USB Type-A here, another USB-C here, power, volume up buttons, because this is convertible, obviously, Kensington lock, and then hiding right over here is the stowable, rechargeable USI pen. And this one actually feels pretty similar to what they had on the CX5400 that we like so much. But, you know, it's a square pen, it's a stowable pen, and I've said this 100 times, I'll say it again. This one will get you by. It'll always be here, always charged up, always ready to go when you need it. And then if you want to get something like a Penoval pen, you know, for a nicer writing experience for longer periods of time, grab one of those, have it. It's like having a mouse. You have a trackpad on here all the time. Sometimes you just want a mouse. So it's okay to have both. And I love the inclusion of stowed stylus because it's just always there and it's out of the way. It's not like you even notice it's even there. So pretty sweet stuff going on the outside here. I really do like the finish on this. It's very fingerprint resistant. It feels really good on the outside. But I'm going to open this thing up and go ahead and sign in. I'm going to save you all that stuff so we can talk about all the inner stuff with the screen on and logged in and all that kind of stuff. So we'll cut away, do that real quick, and then start talking about some of the stuff on the inside. Okay, so after just a couple minutes of messing with this, kind of like we always do with these unboxings, I don't want to say I slept on this device at Vegas. I was just kind of sleepy. You know, it's a big day. All of our stuff got crammed into 2 days. And so when we were seeing this, it was in the middle of probably our busiest day. And while I was excited for it, I was just worn out a little bit. And so I don't know if that took away a little bit of it or if it's just handling a device on the showroom floor. I was plenty excited for it, but this thing is really, really sweet. It's got just tons of upside going on here. So let me start just right at the top. Actually, I did not pull the camera up to see what the resolution is on this guy. That looks like 720p if I'm guessing. Let's see. Yeah, so it looks like a 720p cam. The colors are pretty good on it. So I'll swing that around and point it over at in the darkness at Joe over there. And it brings up, you can see, it's making some adjustments there. You can see him. He's without a whole lot of detail. unfortunately. But you know, it's going to be okay. It's not the sharpest thing in the world, but it's also handling dynamic range pretty well. So skin tones look natural. That's all good. So I like to see that. But there is a privacy shutter up there on the top, like we see on a lot of Chromebooks. So I love to see that. And then we have to talk about this screen. So this is a full HD plus, so it's 1920 by 1200, so 16 by 10 aspect ratio. Now, so not a quad HD screen, but at 14 inches, I go back and forth about whether you need those extra pixels or not. This thing looks pin sharp. It looks great. I've got the brightness turned way down because it's up at 400 nits max brightness. So right now, in order to film, we've got it down below 50%, so it doesn't blow the shot all out. It looks great. Viewing angles, I mean, I'm way off to the side over here. Viewing angles look just absolutely amazing. It's IPS and it's also 144 hertz, so impossible for you to see there. But when I'm moving stuff around on the screen, let me actually click into this. And again, you're not going to be able to really pick up on this, but there's just, I don't know, my finger's kind of jittery there too. But there's something about like seeing the animations when the windows get larger and all that kind of stuff like that looks so cool on a screen with a high refresh rate. And you know, I kind of bagged on Asus for their last gaming Chromebook. It was 144 hertz and it didn't look like it because there was kind of ghosting and all that kind of stuff going on. So far, so good with this one. Obviously going to spend a lot more time with this device, but I like the way this thing looks already right out of the box. Screen is a definite win, and for Asus, that's a huge thing because they tend to, I don't know, they like to put like 250 nit screens in these Chromebooks, and I just don't get it. Not the problem here. And it's not just like, oh, well, this one's 300 nits, and it's not the dimmest thing you've ever seen. Like, it's 400 nits. It looks great. The colors look awesome on it. It's already, I can tell, a very, very, very nice screen. The bezels are in control. I wouldn't say they're super small around here, but they're in control, and the screen looks really great on this device. So coming down to the keyboard, Asus has been building some pretty good keyboards. This one is no exception. It feels really good, but it's also RGB backlit. And I think we figured out, if I go here, I think, and kind of shade it just a little bit with the screen from the big light there, you can kind of hopefully see some of the RGB going on here. But just like all the rest of these gaming Chromebooks, if you don't want to go full color, you can just pick one color and go with it. I will say if you're going with a lighter color, just like any other Chromebook or any other laptop for that matter, with a gray keyboard, if you have light shining in this way and then the light coming up, some of those characters can get a little tough to see. So you're definitely going to want to turn all of that down. They did a good job of making sure that the keycaps have kind of darker hues to the lettering here, so that when you turn the backlighting off in kind of a bright environment, you can see them just fine. There were Asus Chromebooks in the past that didn't handle that very well. This is not one of those situations. And then beneath that, the trackpad, I believe is glass. I'm pretty sure it's a glass surface. Ultra smooth, nice and wide here. Great click mechanism, no complaints whatsoever with that. We've got good port selection going on here. Obviously nice big internals. And then we got to talk about the speakers on this thing. So I did pull up a couple videos just to give you a quick example. So here's one of our videos. So you're going to hear a little bit of my voice spoken and then kind of the track behind it. And it is loud, so I'm not going to try to talk over it. I'm kind of a clean slate. So if you hear all of this and you think to yourself, I'd still like to hear what this guy thinks. Well, let's get into it. So really good low ends there. Nice punchy mids. Like, taking phone calls on this thing's going to be great, but it's a gaming focused Chromebook. So I did pull up another video of just some gameplay in Apex Legends, which is what I play a lot on GeForce Now. And this is what it sounds like in Apex Legends without earbuds or headphones in.
Got an enemy.
Plenty loud. You can hear what's going on. The stereo separation is nice and wide, so it's kind of like immersive. I love it. It sounds great. They're not quite as full as what you get on like the CX5 and their first gaming Chromebook. Those Chromebooks are bigger. They just have bigger space probably for speakers, but these are very good. They sound really nice. And then one other thing I wanted to show you real quick, because we don't have to talk about performance here. It's a Core i5 with 16 gigs of RAM and NVMe storage. This thing is going to absolutely scoot. There's no question about that. But I'm gonna flip it here into convertible mode, into tablet mode. And So we just want to make sure that that is situated where Joe can see that okay. And I just want you to pay attention how closely the ink follows the pen tip. When I do this stuff a lot of times, I kind of move quickly because if there's lag, you'll see it. You'll see the ink like following the pen tip, like it's trying to chase it and stay up and close to it. And I can always tell if the inking experience is going to be decent if when I make these quick movements, that ink is like right on the pen tip and you can just see it. I mean, it just feels very, very natural. And this is like the second or third Chromebook in a row where it's a 12th gen Alder Lake device, and using something like Cursive that doesn't have the best track record when it comes to pen latency. Like the pen latency is starting to feel really, really excellent on these Chromebooks. And so I'm starting to get excited about the fact that maybe we might get to a point where, you know, we can actually start using these devices that have pens and all these apps and stuff as actual note-taking, sketching devices. So I'm going to try to write something real small. And again, my handwriting is terrible for these things because it's real like quick and bad, basically. And the fact that looks like my handwriting, that's really, really encouraging. So the inking experience on this thing is probably going to be really good. Maybe enough that I'll, you know, actually try to use it from time to time. I've been so let down with Chromebooks lately with their inking experiences. They've just not been great. And so far, especially like when we're testing this Penoval stylus and stuff, it's just getting better. And I don't know if that's the processor or screens or whatever. I don't know what it is, but I like what I'm seeing already with this thing. So you start talking about performance, you talk about keyboard and trackpad, talk about a great screen, 144 hertz refresh, RGB keyboard, included pen. I mean, it's all adding up to be a very, very good offering from ASUS here. And honestly, with HP coming out with the Dragonfly, I'm going to say that like 100 times, I'm sure. The Dragonfly Pro Chromebook probably pretty soon. These other companies need to step up and make sure that their higher end Chromebooks, their $700 to $800 to $900 Chromebooks, measure up. Like they need to stack up against this thing, because I'm telling you, it's going to come and it's going to be really awesome. I just know it is. And this thing already, I can tell you, I was kind of excited about it at CES, but I am super impressed getting my hands on this thing for the first time. So I can't wait to actually get this thing on the desk and start using it day in, day out, get some gaming in on it, all that kind of stuff, and start putting together a review for you guys so you can know, if this thing is actually worth the purchase price. But I can tell you, first blush, first impressions here are very, very favorable. But if you like this video, guys, that's it for this one. Give us a thumbs up, head down there, hit that subscribe button. Be sure to ring the notification icon as well if you'd like to be alerted when we make future videos just like this one. Until next time, we'll see you.